In a world where maps dissolve into a canvas of pure white, time is not measured by clocks, but by the rhythm of breath. Here, the wind tells stories of ancient glaciers, whispering secrets of a landscape that has remained frozen for millions of years of history. Behind the shroud of a rising blizzard, a silent observer watches, waiting for the moment when the environment demands its ultimate price for survival. Every heavy step is a testament to endurance, a rhythmic beat against the frozen ground that echoes through the vast empty halls of the north. Welcome to the kingdom of harsh silence, where the elements are the only laws and every living creature is a ghost in the making. The light here is a fleeting ghost, dancing across the ridges of ice before the long, dark night swallows the horizon once again today. Survival is not a choice, but a constant negotiation with the cold, a struggle that defines every heartbeat in this unforgiving, beautiful white desert. Life persists in the smallest details, in the warmth of a breath that defies the absolute zero of the Arctic's most brutal winter nights. A mother stands as a living fortress, her massive frame a shield against the biting gale that threatens the fragile lives huddled beneath her. Within the depths of her frozen coat, a miracle of biology occurs, keeping the spark of life burning while the world outside reaches lethal temperatures. These small, vulnerable souls are the bridge to the future, protected by a love that is as fierce and enduring as the ice itself. Beneath the dim glow of a winter sun, the family waits with a patience born of necessity, knowing that movement is a luxury they cannot afford. For the young, the storm is but a distant roar, muffled by the presence of a guardian who has survived 1,000 such trials before. At -50 degrees, every exhale is a visible sign of defiance, a warm mist that vanishes into the hungry, cold air of the tundra. She is more than a mother. She is the carrier of a legacy, a lineage that has mastered the art of surviving the impossible for eons. The bond is a fragile thread of life, woven through millions of years of evolution to ensure that the Arctic never truly becomes a void. In this sanctuary of fur and flesh, the future of a species is guarded with a quiet, unwavering resolve that no blizzard can ever break. Beneath the surface of the silence, a different kind of war is waged, where the hunter becomes a ghost, invisible to the naked eye. The Arctic fox is a master of patience, listening for the faint scuttle of life hidden deep beneath the crushing weight of the frozen earth. In a sudden burst of energy, the predator takes flight, a calculated gamble against the void, driven by the gnawing hunger of a long winter. Its success is measured in seconds and inches. A single meal means the difference between seeing another sunrise and becoming part of the frozen history. Above the ground, another sentinel watches, a phantom of the air with eyes that can pierce through the thickest curtains of a swirling blizzard. Silence is not just an absence of sound here. It is a lethal weapon, used by those who have mastered the art of the unseen. With wings that beat as softly as falling snow, the owl drifts over the landscape, a beautiful omen of the inevitable cycle of the wild. In the kingdom of the white mist, hearing is seeing, and those who listen the closest are the ones who will claim the night. Every successful hunt is a victory against the vacuum of the north, a small flame of life sustained by the calculated death of another. The tundra is alive with the movement of ghosts, a complex web of survival where every shadow has a purpose, and every silence has teeth. When the storm reaches its crescendo, and the Arctic becomes a chaotic battlefield where the very air seeks to erase everything in its path today. From the white chaos emerge the wolves, a collective force of hunger and instinct, driven to the edge of desperation by the freezing wind. Facing them is a relic of the Ice Age, the muskox, a mountain of muscle and fur that refuses to yield to the pack. The encounter is primal, a clash of ancient rivals where there is no room for mercy, only the raw will to survive the storm. In the heat of the struggle, the cold is forgotten, replaced by the adrenaline of the hunt and the desperate struggle for a single breath. There is no malice in this violence, only the absolute necessity of the wild, a dance of death that has played out for millennia. Every strike carries the weight of life and death, as the defenders fight for their herd and the attackers fight for their survival. The purity of the snow is stained by the reality of the struggle, as a crimson reminder that life requires a sacrifice in the frozen north. As the battle subsides, the survivors remain, their spirits tested by the fire of combat and the ice of the surrounding world's grip. The storm takes its toll, but the fire of life refuses to be extinguished, burning bright in the hearts of those who remain standing now. When the fury finally breaks, a profound peace descends, as if the world itself is catching its breath after a long and terrible night. The landscape is transformed, a quiet masterpiece of light and shadow that belies the violence that took place only a few hours ago here. A young cub looks out upon its kingdom, seeing the beauty of the frost for the first time since the great storm passed over them. In the aftermath, we realize that the harshness is not an enemy, but a teacher, forging the strength and resilience of every soul here. Yes, the legacy of the North is not written in the ice, but in the unyielding spirit of those who call this frozen desert their home. We are but witnesses to a grand design, a cycle of life that continues in the face of the most extreme challenges on our planet. Life, in all its fragility, is the most miraculous thing in this vast void, a testament to the power of hope and the instinct to endure. As silence returns to the poles, the frozen legacy lives on, a story of shadows and light that will never truly end in time.